Da, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Da-da-da-da-da. Are we on? Are we live? We
I
are
don't
live
know,
on Facebook.
but
What you
but but
say, Nolan?
I
What?
was gonna say this is the wackest intro that you go skedaddle us into the whole thing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm like, this ain't really scatting, this ain't really beatboxing, this is just a skedaddle. Like, you know what I
Right,
mean?
like, what are we doing?
Right.
We are live. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Let's get it.
Yay. Round of
Let's get it
applause.
popping.
Round of applause. Get the money, honeys. Yes. I want to tell everyone thank you so much for coming into Get the Money, Honey webinar. And I have someone waiting. So I'm going to, before we even get started, before I even let this person in, we have Miss Adrienne E. Bell, who is a global brand strategist, and she is phenomenal when it comes to creating strategies for your business. And then we have Mr. Nolen Davis.
Woo-hoo.
And guys, this is like our third webinar. We've been having such a great response. This webinar specifically, why we are doing this is for entrepreneurs, for creatives, and for people who are setting up nonprofits, and how to leverage your business economically, strategically, marketing, and the know-hows and the ins and outs of doing business. So,
Hey, before we go further, I just want to say and give it up for Christina Turner. She is introduced everybody else, but you didn't introduce yourself. She is the Kingmaker herself, the mastermind behind this whole situation. And so, the ladies I pay homage to that's on this call, because I really look at y'all like family. I also like to say before we get started really fast, Adrienne Bell loves me. So whatever you've seen anywhere else is false. Like, Adrienne Bell is like my first cousin. I haven't connected the branches yet, but that we are definitely kind of related some way, somehow. So Christina, can carry on.
okay, so what I'm going to try to do is share this to my page. And so hopefully you guys will still be able to see me when I go on, that I don't lose connection here on the Zoom. But I'm also recording right here on the Kingmaker page. So I just want to tell those that have came in on the Kingmaker page, thank you so much. Welcome. I am Christina L. Turner, as Mr. Nolen Davis did say. I am the Kingmaker. I have created multiple businesses. I have helped over 1,000 people create their businesses and become very successful with their businesses. Some have actually become multi-millionaires with their businesses working with me. I have created nonprofits. I started working in the New York State Assembly as an event planner, and then I was writing nonprofits. I've created nonprofits. I worked in the nonprofit sector. I worked in the government sector. I kind of like had every kind of job there is almost. If I've never been a waitress, well, air hostess, but I kind of did like type of every kind of job. One of the things I am passionate about is really helping people become successful in their business, which is why we have Get the Money Honey platform, which is for the Kingmaker. That's part of Kingmaker's Millionaire Resource Group. So I would invite you, if you know someone who's trying to start a business, who want to start a business, who's been in business for their first 3 years, you want to get them on here, because listen, there is no platform out here in the Wide Web that is meeting with people on every other week that we meet together, that we're giving out bona fide information on how to be successful in your business. And it's free. If you stay until after the webinar that we're going to be doing today, what I'm going to offer you, I'm going to offer you an opportunity to be part of my Kingmakers Millionaire Resource Group. And if you become a member of the Kingmaker Millionaire Resource Group, then what's going to happen is I'm going to give you the free ebook that I created some weeks ago about how to build business credit. It's like 13 really, really easy, simple steps, marked like step by step of everything that you need on how to build business credit. Okay, so let us get into it. I think I'm going to start off with Adrienne. Adrienne, as I said before, is a awesome brand strategist, and she has something to talk about today in regard to pricing your products and your services, because I remember I didn't know how to do it, how to price my products and my services and my time, and how valuable I was, and how everything that you do is equitable. And so because it's equitable, you need to know, how do you navigate that? How do you navigate making money, honey, when you're providing a service or a product? So I'm gonna stop talking. So Adrienne, you have the floor.
Thank you, Christina, the Kingmaker Turner. I'm sorry, Christina L. Turner. Make sure I get the branding right. I don't say I'm a brand strategist. I'm a business strategist. And the reason why is that there is a little bit of a difference. So really quickly, the difference between a brand strategist and a business strategist is that sometimes your brand strategist necessarily doesn't help you make money. They just kind of help you set up your systems and set up how you engage with people, engage with your clients, create funnels, all that stuff. From a business strategist standpoint, for me, it's all about the revenue. It's all about get the money, honey, okay? I don't care how many funnels you have. If you're not making no money, it's a waste of time, okay? Yeah. So the reason I'm here today to talk about pricing, one of the major challenges I run into when I'm dealing with CEOs, new CEOs, startups, founders of even nonprofits, they don't know what to charge or how to price their services, especially if you're in a service-based industry, like if you're doing, coaching or brand strategizing like I'm doing, if you're a business coach, as far as business development, even things that Christina does from helping businesses create, the S Corps and the LLCs and the nonprofits. There's a price that you should be charging. People are either overcharging or undercharging. And most people are undercharging because they're like, oh, well, I'm just starting out. And so I don't want people to think I'm charging too much. And I get that. I appreciate that. But here's the thing. I always ask my clients to start at this place. I came from I have an accounting background. I was a tax analyst with an energy company. I also have done, payroll, taxes, all that stuff, right? But I always tell people, whatever your last corporate job paid you, that's where you start. So if your corporate job was only paying you, $20 an hour, don't charge your clients $80 an hour. It's like, do you have the skill set for that? So if you know that what happens is people will overcharge and say, oh, my fee is $10,000. Ma'am, nobody ain't paid you $10,000 for nothing in life, okay? So why would you start now, especially if you've never done it before, right? Just because you go on somebody else's website and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but you don't know what their secret sauce is, right? Just because there are other business strategists, but my secret sauce is going to be different from the next person's, right? So when you're pricing your services, start with, what is my company? What did my last corporate job pay me per hour? And the reason why we go by, when I say last corporate job, meaning take the average of all the jobs that you've had, right? But the main thing is, if you've had your last corporate job, they paid you on average $25 to $35 an hour. Even if it's $15 an hour, okay? Start there. You should not charge people more than a company has paid you for, right? And the reason why you want to start there is because you don't want to, especially if you're starting out, you don't want people to feel like, well, man, like, do you even have a track record? Has anybody, do you have any testimonials? We got to start somewhere. Now, I'm not saying stay there, but if you don't know where to start, it's all about where you start. Now, that's why you hire people like me, so I assess all of your skills, your degrees, your experiences, all of that. And then I say, and then all of the things that right? All of your knowledge. And then we put that together and say, no, you don't need to be charging less than $10,000 or less than $5,000 because your resume speaks for itself, right? So, but if you're beating your head against the wall, like, man, I don't know what to charge. If your company paid you $1,500 a day, or let's say speakers. Some people say, I don't know what to charge for a speaking engagement. Okay, well, first of all, for your speaking engagement, they need to pay. If they've asked you to come, they need to pay you to come, as far as paying for your hotel, paying for your flight, things like that. Now, some people do charge an honorarium, which you should, but then in some cases, you don't have to charge an honorarium. Like for me, depending on where I'm going, I may not charge an honorarium because I have products that I can sell. So unless you're paying me $100,000 honorarium, in most cases, I'm gonna make let's say you're gonna pay me $500. I'm gonna make more than that by selling product, right? So especially if your person is the company that's hiring you to be a speaker, maybe they don't have the budget to pay you $1,500 or $2,000 or $2,500, whatever the case may be. So you can say, okay, let's negotiate. Pay me half of my fee and then just let me sell product, right? Or you can pre-sell your product and then that way it's already paid for. There's nobody owes anybody any money. There's so many ways to do it. But the main thing from a pricing perspective, ask yourself, or your current job, if you're paid a certain hourly rate, that's where you should start, right? Because that way you're not overcharging and you're not undervaluing yourself. Right? Now, I know some of y'all are like, well, my job don't pay me what I'm worth. That's probably true, but that's what your W-2 say, okay? So you want to start where they're saying you're valued at, okay? My old boss told me when I went in his office and said, well, I feel like I should make more money. He was like, well, you should have negotiated better when you started out. I was like, oh, and I learned that lesson very early on. I was like 22, and he said, you should have negotiated better, and I should have, and I made a pact that I would always teach people how to negotiate to get the money that they deserve. So get the money, honey. Start with your hourly rate with your last company. And then remember, even with your hourly rate, you have to be careful because let's say, for example, a project is gonna take you 25 hours to do. Okay, then you got to make sure that you're not working at $5 an hour. So you got to make sure that the way you calculate your hours, that it's going to take you to finish whatever project that you're working on. Yeah. How much is it going to cost you at the end of the day? Right? Oh, this client, she paid me $10,000. Right, but you've been working on it for 125 years. So you still didn't make any money. Right? So you got to be careful. And this is kind of a general discussion. It's really a case-by-case basis and how to properly charge. But I always want to have you start with your last hourly rate from your company. Break it, even if your salary, break it down. So if you make $50,000 a year, divide that by 2,080 hours. So it's 2,080 working hours in a year. That's 40 hours per week, 168 hours a month, okay? So if you make $50,000 a year, divide that by 2,080 hours. And you wanna do that because you're trying to see how much do I really make? How much am I really walking away with after I pay my taxes? Pay your taxes, sugar, okay? I know you're an entrepreneur and everything, but pay your taxes, okay? You should sit, and the tax specialist is on here, sit at least 25% to the side. Like just every time you get paid, ooh, that money looks great, but you need to make sure that Uncle Sam has his little bit set to the side if you don't have a nonprofit or something to offset those funds, right? Which Christina and I talked about. We're going to talk about that one day. I know a client who owes the IRS like $15,000. Why? Why do you owe that much? Because she just didn't know how to make that money work for her. Back to pricing. So if you need help properly pricing your business, your services, your products, reach out to me. You can email me. I have so many emails. Do fearlessstorytellers@gmail.com. That's the fastest one. Or you can go to my website, therealab.com, and I will help you price your services properly, okay? So, and I will do that for free. I will not charge you because you're part of this wonderful webinar. So you can reach out to me and I will help you properly price your services and your products.
Awesome. So do you, what I want to do, I want to bring in Ms. Zan because she is here. She's a new entrepreneur. And one of the things I'm trying to do right now is share our this is my first time ever using my Zoom, because I'm still learning with the technology and everything, is to put the Zoom so it can shows on the Facebook. And I don't know exactly, like that's what I'm manipulating right now. So so that people just don't see me, they can see all of us having this conversation. So that's what I'm working on right now. So, I mean, I can see us. Well, I can, yeah, I'm the only person that can see us, and people can see me because they're live on the Kingmaker page. So,
Top right,
we'll
change the view to grid instead of speaker view.
hold
At the
on.
top right.
Hold on, top right. See, I'm still learning, everyone.
Right.
I don't know
It
everything.
looks like a Rubik's Cube or something over there at the top right. Click that button.
Okay, this Rubik's Cube. Okay.
And then that will come up on Facebook.
Is it on there?
It will in a second. It's
Okay.
a small delay.
So when it says that it's opens up the whole thing, okay. The little
Yes.
Rubik's Cube, okay. All right. When it says full screen, is that what you're talking about? That cube?
No, right next to the full screen, it should say like a grid or something. That's where the Rubik's Cube is. Right next to it. You don't have two things at the top right?
No, I have a speaker view and
Right.
Yes, that's it. Click
That's
speaker
it.
view.
okay. There we go. I don't know if people can see me because I can't still see it, but we'll do it next time. But anyway, I hope you guys can hear what Nolen is saying, but I did want to bring in someone else, and not as a speaker, but as a participant. Are you guys okay with that? We can bring that person in and they can listen, and she's able to ask, a few questions, because she's an entrepreneur. She has her own restaurant, a catering service actually, in the Houston area. So this is some opportunities too. Like if you follow us, and she follows me, she's how can I put it? She's not an official client yet, but I have worked with her a little bit on some things. Her food is very, very good. So Ms. Zan, I'm going to bring you in a little bit so that you be able to talk, and so that you get the experience of, being around us Kingmakers in here. So I'm going to try to work with this and bring you in. Okay, there I go. And she should be joining in. Okay. All right, Ms. Zan, if you're in, you can be in, or it says you're connecting to audio. Okay, so going back to what you were saying, Adrienne, in regard to pricing. Now, one of the things that that I had a problem with, even being whatever sector that I'm working with in regard to my business, is having this issue with pricing. Because one of the things, like I have a client, I can't say who they are because they're a private client. You and I are working on this project together. With this particular client, was not able to pay me the full amount, which I already know because of my experience, because, my years of doing whatever I'm doing. I do have a starting fee for different types of work that I do. But I lowballed the cost because of the fact on the back end of it, I knew that I was going to gain, like you said, I was going to gain more than, I was going to gain more clients on the type of clientele that I work with. So I want to get in that particular client base. So, do you recommend that all the time? For me, I'm asking, for those that may be watching, do you recommend sometimes negotiating, like, as in you don't necessarily have to tell the client that that's what you're actually doing. Like, okay, well, I'm going to take this gig if you da 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 da. And I have also done pro bono services for people, like, light stuff. And I'll say, give me a review. And they don't give you a review. How do you recommend that, far as doing some type of bartering system, if you know, if the water is a little bit murky, when it, like there's not a clear directive, you know what I'm saying? Like after I do all of this, then do that. Do you recommend that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because that's your intellectual property, right? And I think sometimes, especially when we're in a service-based business, even if you're in MLM, it doesn't matter. There's always should be always a give and take, right? So it should be value for value. It may not be dollar for dollar, but it should be value for value. So if you've done $1,500 worth of work, it's not going to take them $1,500 worth of time to do a review for you. Right? So no, it has to, like, that's great, but I'm going to discount, but I'm not going to do anything for free unless there is a greater value. Let me give you a perfect example. So as many of you know, or those who know me know that I have a deal with Amazon Prime for my upcoming documentary. And so the guy that's going to score the film for me, he is going to be writing a book, right? So we've decided, okay, I'll help you write your book, you score my film. It's an apples to apples. Now I'm still going to pay him a little bit more, but it was valuable enough for me because it takes, like you said, it's nothing for me to publish a book. That's nothing, right? But it's still work. It's still time, right? But the value is the same. Right? So it's valuable for him and that's valuable for me. We're both working in our gifts. So no, I don't believe in pro bono unless I'm doing a charity for you that I can write that off. It's a no, because people won't keep their word. They'll be like, oh yeah, girl, go ahead and do $7,000 worth of work. I'll give you a review. No, ma'am. No, it has to make sense for you from a value perspective. I get the review thing. I totally do. But as far as even getting reviews, maybe don't release the work until you show them a preview of the work. And then you say, okay, they're like, oh my God, I love this. And then maybe you hold a piece back and then let them do a review based on what they saw. Then you release that final piece, right? It should always be, it's not business if it's not give and take. It's not business. It's charity if you're just giving. So pro bono, even if I'm an attorney, right, and I'm doing a pro bono high profile case, okay, it's high profile, so I don't have to pay for marketing, right? I don't have to pay for, you know, all of these people that I'm meeting, all these judges that I'm meeting, all of these whatever. I don't have to pay for that, so that's valuable for me, right? But it's not valuable if there's no press behind this client. If there's no press, why is it pro bono, right? So just be careful that your pro bono, it should not be pro bono, especially when you're trying to build. Now, after you've gotten to a certain place and you're like, I always tell clients, schedule out, like my husband and I, we say every year we're gonna bless at least 12 businesses. At least. That is just, it's one a month. We may end up doing more, but that's the goal we set. If you're going to do pro bono, say, okay, I'm going to do 3 pro bono a year. Make that a standard, right? So then that way you don't feel like you have to give your stuff away for free. I don't care if they are a high profile client. Okay, I've worked with high profile clients, and quite frankly, sometimes it's not worth what you're thinking you're going to get from a value perspective. You're like, man, y'all could have kept these $3 because I can't, right? So you just, that's where you go. That's where your worth and value come in the door, right? You're bringing your expertise. You're bringing your value. You're bringing your contacts. You're bringing your relationships with vendors that they don't have, right? So you have to make sure, that goes back to that $1 an hour. What's the value per hour? How much time do I have to spend on this? And if it's less than what you're worth, and then even if you want to give them a discount, will they follow through with what you gave up, right? So I'm not a big fan of that unless it's etched out, like it's very clear. Even if the client does not do its own thing, I'm going to be engaging. I'm going to have access to the list. I'm going to put it in my contract that at the end of this list, I'm going to send a thank you card on behalf of my company, right? Saying thank you. This event was sponsored by so-and-so, or was managed by this company. And I'll say, and I'm going to, thank you for that. Something like that. But I don't think you should just do it just because they're high profile. Absolutely not.
Absolutely. And that's in any kind of profile. And the reason I'm going to segue into that before Nola even start talking about it, because you have to have a plan. Okay.
Got to.
You have to have a plan for your business. And I'm not talking about a plan where, you do these you have these mental notes that you jot down and you say, okay, this is what I want to do. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And your plan, it's not in order because it's all over the place. And so I'm wedging in on the aspect of creating a business plan that is so pinnacle that you know how much you're going to be charging, because it's going to show your bottom line of your revenue on the perspective of how your business may make that money during that year. And the reason why you need a business plan, and I've spoke about this before, is because let's say that you want to get a loan or something, and not just for money, for financial resources, just so you can stay on track. And so you can stay on track of whatever your goals is, what it is that your company needs. You need to have a plan, not just a business plan. You also need to have a life plan, okay? But as we focus on in regard to your business, I'm going to talk specifically about your executive summary. That is so poignant in your plan, because your executive summary is almost like a prophetic word that you put upon your business. It gives a description on not just about you, it gives a description about you. How did you come up with the idea? What are you going to be doing with this particular business? How is it going to help the community that you're engaging in, as far as bringing in revenue? How are all the moving parts are going to be? And it has to be really interesting, and it's like your elevator pitch on paper, and it shouldn't be like this mile long. Like, it should be like a nice, well-written, engaging paragraph or two, or maybe three at the most, that when someone reads your business plan, because they go to that executive summary first, and that's not even just for a business plan, that's also for proposals for your nonprofit. There's an executive summary for a nonprofit as well. When someone reads that executive summary and they're looking at it, you want to captivate them so they can read more. And the language needs to be so clear. It should be something that they haven't seen before or heard before. Because do you know how many businesses that do the same thing that you do? How many nonprofits that do the same thing that you do? You got to give something a little bit more. You got to treasure your executive business summary or your executive nonprofit summary. You want to make sure that it really, really looks good. It sounds good. It has a clear directive. You know where you're going. It has a clear directive of who you are. How did you come up with this concept? What made you want to decide that you want to do this? If you had any experience in doing it, if it's a new initiative, or if it's a new company, but you've been doing this on the side, as you've been doing hair in the kitchen for 5 years, and now you decided you want to have your own salon, and you're now licensed, and you got your education, and you intern here or there, whatever. You want to make sure that you have that within your business plan. So, and this is another thing too. I know that Google is so prolific with a whole lot of information. It is so prolific with a whole lot of information. And a lot of people always say, and I literally have someone say this to me personally, like, oh, I could go on Google and get that. You could go on Google and get whatever type of information that you want. But a lot of information on Google is not thorough. What you need to do is, it's almost as if you have like a case of tools, right? If you don't know how to use these certain tools, what's going to happen is you're going to trip up. you're going to end up hurting yourself. And then related to your business, you're going to end up hurting your business. Your business is not going to go where it's supposed to go. It's not going to get there. And if it does get there, we say it get there by hook or crook. I mean, who wants to have a business on hook or crook when you can have a business that flow, that because you hired an expert to come in, to look at your business plan, to do some business strategy with you, to show you how your marketing can go, which I know that Mr. Davis is so big on the marketing aspect of it. And then too, on other things that you can do to leverage your business, because believe it or not, I have Miss Adrienne as a strategist, okay, as a business strategist. And we literally had conversations. Now I know I'm good at what I do, okay, but even an expert needs an expert. You know, we say that and doctors need doctors. And so I went to an expert and I said, listen, I have my businesses here. Yes, I'm making money. And just like she said before, when, you know, she sits down to figure out how, you know, what else can you do? She did not know that I did 501c3s. She didn't know that. And that's an added component in one of my business where I'm able to pull out additional resource, especially now in the pandemic. What are you going to do if you're stuck on this one way that you're going to do your business? And there's so many other components that you can add and you can pull out of your business plan that you never even thought of before, that you can pull this stuff out and then you can continue to make revenue on your business. So your executives, in closing with this, what I'm going to say about making sure you have a business plan, just make sure that your executive summary is on point. You want to make sure that you are very descriptive about yourself. You know, how did you come up with the idea? You want to be very imaginative and descriptive about your business and what it's going to do and how it's going to provide a service. You want to be descriptive of that. And you want it to be so engaging and so inviting and different than anything else. Don't cut and paste from other business plans that you found on Google, or don't have anyone that's going to create a business plan for you and they pulling together different things and different components and they kind of piecemealing it together. You know, people are highly intelligent, you know, and we can tell, you know, if I'm looking at someone's business plan and I'm an investor, that I could tell that I've seen this before. That same thing, you know, with fashion or any other industry. We've seen that before. And then what's going to happen? You're not going to get the funding that you need if you're a nonprofit. You're not going to get it because it's something that they've seen before. You're not going to get the funding that you need if you are a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, sole proprietorship, LLCs, S Corp, whatever, because they've seen that before, because they want to know why would they refund something that they've already funded before. So work on those executive summaries, you know, on that component. That's all I'm going to say about that. So
can I add to that before we go?
Yeah.
Off of that?
Yeah.
So as you talk about the secret sauce, there's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. There's an actual strategy, almost a mathematical equation of how you can set yourself apart from your competition, right? And so when you look at that Blue Ocean Strategy, one of the things that, just very briefly on what that whole book is about, is literally removing what everybody takes for granted in that industry and then adding what sets you apart. That's kind of a part of the sauce, what we do at Vids Inc. for my video production company. That's why our videos hit a little bit different, because that's one of those things. So for those that's looking to really figure out who they are and they want to really write it down like you're talking about, read Blue Ocean Strategy and give you a good jump off on how you could separate yourself from your competition.
And I think that's really, really good. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy. Is that the name of it? That's the book. I'm definitely going to get it because I'm always looking to learn and more information, because time, you know, everybody don't know everything. We're constantly, that's another thing too, in your field of business, you know, you want to continue to learn about your business. You know, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. Everyone does not need to do the same type of business the same way. And everything is innovative. There's always new things that's coming out. It doesn't matter if you're in event planning, you're a tax preparer. It doesn't matter if you sell jump ropes and all that stuff. You want to know exactly everything about a jump rope, because who knows, they may come out with a whole new different type of jump rope that may be easier and help you burn more calories than a regular jump rope. It may seem illogical, but you never know. So you want to keep yourself well informed about your business. Just don't have your business and you just don't pay attention. You have to feed it. You have to feed your business with information, like you're feeding if it's a child, you have to constantly nourish your business. You need to work on your business every day. I think I say that every time we go on a webinar. You need to do something with your business every single day. You need to touch and lay your hands and your eyes on your prayers on your business, because it continues to grow. And you may not be able to, you may say, well, I don't need to do all of that. Just look at it as you're planting seeds into your business, that when you're paying attention, when you're going over your business plan. Like I restructured all my business plans to all of my businesses because this pandemic came, and what was before is not the same way that all the vision that I had in the past. Now we have to redo things all over again. So, while you have this business plan, if you already have it, I just want you to take some time this weekend that's coming up and go through your business plan. Because what you're going to find out is when we originally write something in the beginning, 9 times out of 10, we're going to have to make some modification. 9 times out of 10, I have made modifications on my business maybe every 5 years. Some stuff have been done every 3 years. And even now, if you just started your business last year, you've making some modification now, okay? And we're almost at the end of the year. So sit down this weekend, and that's going to be someone's homework out there. If you're listening to me, go through your business plan. 501c3s, go through your mission statement. Are you fulfilling your mission? And I'm going to tell you something. I just saw an article yesterday, and because I'm interested in everything, because I'm the queen of everything, I'm the kingmaker, but I'm interested in everything that I read because I'm specifically with nonprofits and small businesses. Do you know the city of Atlanta lost millions of dollars just the other day because they did not fulfill their nonprofit duties, what they had got the grant for? Can you imagine losing millions of dollars just because you did not do what was required? They didn't revisit the business plan. They did not have a strategy, how to get people. They're supposed to be helping low-income people get jobs, and they got money to do that, and they've only helped one person got a job. They had millions of dollars, so they need a revisitation. So they lost all of that grant money. So that means a lot of people for that particular nonprofit will not be able to have jobs. So take your time this weekend. Those that's in nonprofit, those in for-profit entities, I really want you to take your time and review your business plan and scratch stuff out like, this didn't work. We did not do this. We've been having this business plan. This is something I want to do, and we haven't done this in 3 years. If you still want to do it, then create a strategy, okay? Create a strategy. Get in touch with a professional, Adrienne or myself or Nolen. You can get in touch with one of us so that we can look over your stuff and sit down and speak with you and come up with a plan. And guess what? Your first consultation does not cost you anything to do that. And then also, I need for you to go inside of the Kingmakers Millionaire Resource Group, because that's where we're going to be putting a lot of stuff. Like I said, this is our third session. So we're going to start putting information in the Kingmakers Millionaire Resource Group so that you can go in and get some free tips, and also so you can ask questions, because I'm in there. I'm in there looking, and then no one hasn't joined yet. So you may be out there wondering. You bring them in so they can see. So now I'm going to give it to Nolen, so Nolen can talk about multiple streams, how you can pull multiple streams of income out of your business.
Well, we have somebody on here that's waiting, and we're running out of
She
time.
hasn't said anything, Adrienne. She's not on video. She's not. She hasn't said anything. She's in the.
Ask her. Ask her. Zan, are you
have
there?
Questions?
Hi. I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry. I muted myself because some stuff going on in the background at home, and I didn't want to interrupt that. But I'm Zane. I'm in Houston, and Christina and I met through Facebook, and she made an effort to meet me in person once. I own a catering business, and I can't tell you how grateful I am to have met this amazing lady, Christina, and she's shared so much with me in the past few months during the COVID. I'm so inspired and excited to be on group here because I really want to learn a lot of things. I was actually reaching out to her because I really needed a business plan. And the truth is that I was stuck because I couldn't afford it. It's not that what she's asking is so much, but it's just the circumstances that I'm in, and I just couldn't move forward with that. But she's really been great, and I follow her a lot on Facebook. I've heard a lot about the two of you, and thank you so much. I'm here, I'm listening. I can't turn on my video because I wasn't fully ready. Y'all are all professional dressed up, so I'm hiding as a
That's okay.
But thank you so much.
So do you have any questions in regard to what Adrienne have discussed or myself had discussed, and maybe something that maybe Nolen can even answer while you're here? I don't know if we got a bad connection.
Ms. Zane, can you hear us? Ms. Zane.
I can hear you, Nolen, now.
Okay. What we were asking is.
I can hear you now.
Okay. What we were asking was, is it possible that we can help you with something as we're going through these trying times? Do you have anything specific that we may be able to give you advice on to pull you out of? I know we got a hurricane coming. It's a virus. You know, Christina has on a t-shirt with ruffles. There's a lot of things going on right now. Do you have any specific questions?
I can't really think off my mind, but I definitely yes, because just at the entry level where somebody reached out to us and they've shown a great interest in our business, and these are people that we really know.
These are, turn your auto tune up. You say these are people that what now?
This is a couple that's interested in joining us, you know, like being an investor in our business.
Oh, great. Great.
Yes.
And so you're a caterer?
So definitely, yes, I am.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. As you have an investor that's looking to invest in what you have going on right now, the climate has changed when it comes to catering because gatherings have diminished and depleted a little bit. What are you doing to pivot to still stand out and get people some of that good food?
Oh, during this COVID?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm just selling my passion really, and people have known me for a while, and I offer a cuisine that's very unique. So I just present what they really want, and of course I do offer them reasonable pricing. I sometimes do some little bit of charity, you know. That's really kept me going. It's really right now very slow. It's not like I would really be running out there, you know, covering big events. So I'm just doing very minimum orders for like families and stuff like that, you know?
Okay. Okay. So you're doing pretty much home orders. Are you say you have unique cuisine? Have you partnered with anybody that's maybe in health and fitness to where people now can't go out to restaurants and you can, I don't know if you have the ability to cater from a nutritional standpoint or anything like that, but have you looked at doing anything like that for families for more of a nutritious standpoint?
I haven't looked at nutritional standpoint, but my goal is to work with schools
Mm,
because at the moment, I do have a school that's really reached out to me and they are interested in a halal, you know, food line. So,
okay.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought maybe you were coming on because you had a specific question or something. If you wanted to brainstorm with us, I think that would have been, this is a great time to do it and a great platform to do it, as Christina has provided for us from the Kingmaker situation. So, hey, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you today, Ms. Zane.
it's glitching.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so Nolen, when it was good that Zane came on to really talk about her business, and that was a really great idea. That's something I didn't even think about. Even speaking with her as far as leveraging the income and building another stream of income in what she already does. So you had the floor.
Well, thank you, first and foremost. It's hard going after two amazing women. One so fashionable and one so intelligent is what that is. So I'm gonna try to do what I can do when I can do it, right? So that's kind of the type of thing that I do is that I literally help my people figure out a couple of different things. One, how can you maximize your network of people and create partnerships or collaborations so we can literally go in front of those circles of people. So as she's sitting here talking, I was just trying to think outside the box. If she could really help from a nutritional standpoint, people are not going to restaurants right now. So if you had a delivery situation to where you could deliver for full families, so those are bigger meals, right? Because you want the whole family to eat healthy. And then who can you partner with? Because now that helps their blue ocean strategy, like I was talking earlier. So if you have a trainer, you're a trainer and I'm a trainer, right? You got a great physique, I got a great physique. You're now going online and I'm now going online, but now I have an extra added benefit through Zane that says, hey, we come up with the full complete situation. So those are the types of things that I look at as far as opportunities to create stronger relationships and build off of those networks of circles of people. I'll give you another example. One of the things that I do is I own a couple of virtual businesses that I run online and through social media. Through those virtual businesses, I have a lot of top echelon people that really get down with me, and people will say, oh no, I don't want to do network marketing, but it's really about how do you integrate it in what you're already doing, right? You don't want to say, hey, I'm an attorney and I sell Melaleuca, right? You don't want to say, I'm an accountant and try these packets of coffee, right? Like it's if you can go to those people that you're talking to and find a niche to where this product absolutely helps, now you have a product with residual income. I'll give you an example. When you look in the health and wellness industry, when you look at that, so many people are transferring or swapping time for dollars. I'm a trainer, right? And so at the beginning of the year, everything is banging. Everybody got New Year resolutions. By Valentine's Day, everybody's fat again. You see what I'm saying? So simple as that. Now, if I was able to give you a product that makes you look good, feel good, and perform better just on a regular situation, I introduce that to each and every person to say that this is going to literally increase and maximize all of your results and sustain them for the longevity of it, all you have to do is try it. Now, when they don't show up after Valentine's Day, you're still making money off of those people, and it still builds your brand. Because once they start to look, feel, and perform better, they're going to tell their friends, and it's all going to come back to you. And
Right.
it's adding that extra added value, like I said before, that blue ocean strategy, right? So you never go do what I do. Like, even if we look the same, we act the same, I still have a little something extra that I'm going to be able to hit you with and help you. I give you one last example. I actually have partnered, and my team is partnered with an organization that can save you money on the bills that you already have. I'm not talking about changing carriers. I'm not talking about modifying any of your services. I'm talking about a group of bill negotiators, residential and commercial, that they'll go in there and renegotiate pretty much your contract from the metadata that they have, and you can't do it, and it's no money up front. Now, for anybody that sells a product, when price is the objection, you now can overcome that objection and say, what if I could save you money on the bills that you already have, and you can redirect that money for this life insurance, for this health insurance, for this gym, for whatever it is, you can reinvest that money. And if you're really a smart business person, you'll see you get paid twice. You get paid on this, helping them save money on their bills, and you keep that person on the hook. From a sales standpoint, the average person needs to see what you have 4 to 6 times, sometimes more than that. But I'm talking about I'm not talking about emails. I'm not talking about posts. I'm talking about on the phone, strategically, statistically talking to them. You hear my voice, you laugh at these jokes, and 4 to 6 times you go buy something. Now, with that being said, I now have something to keep you on the hook, because now you've given me more information. Mm-hmm. We're intimate now. We've built a rapport. We have a relationship. You're looking for these savings so you can invest those savings in what I provide, and I get paid off of giving you the savings anyway. Those are the types of things that you integrate, still make money on it, and still you can make money twice on the same prospects and clients that you already have. People are always thinking, I need to get more clients. I need to come up on, how do you say Google? Because you say it crazy, right? But I need to come up first on Google so I can get all of these leads. But if I can improve your conversion rate, and if I can get you to get paid twice off the same person, plus make that person happy, and they give you referrals, then we kill the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You kill the game.
Oh, I'm done. That's it.
That's it?
That's it. That's all. Right? That's it. So I'm just letting you know it's a situation of really, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to look at innovation like the breath of your business.
That's good.
That's it. When you look at innovation like the breath of your business, you now are trying to figure out not only how I can make you scream my name and say, Nolen took so much, like I can make you feel a certain way, right? Just by creating a level of customer service that you'd be like, oh, he loves me. Simple as that, right? So that along with giving all the, or maximizing every possible way that we can make money. Think about it. From this virus, if people had multiple streams of income, you can come back and pivot and not be on fire, because you still have a stream of income that's coming. People talk about residual income, but nobody is really out there proactively trying to figure out how to get residual income into what they do. And now, literally, the last thing I'm going to say is that once you get residual income, you can live your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because now when that money's coming in regardless, you know exactly if something goes wrong, you have time because you're not on fire to figure out how to pivot and do exactly what it is you need to do. So that's what I do.
And that is true. I mean, when you said fire, some people think that fire, is going to burn your business down, but fire is also a motivator. You want to be able. It's also a creator of things. It can burn, but it also can create. And so you want to make sure, just to piggyback off of what Nolen just said, is that you want to make sure that you're able to leverage your business in some type of way. That multiple stream of income is so prevalent, and it is very true. I know a lot of people who said they have multiple streams of income and they did not. You need to have something that's going to be interchangeable, which is why I said in the beginning of my conversation is making sure that you have a plan for your business where you can go back into it and look at everything that you created and go, okay, this is something that I can do that I did not see before or that I did not think of before. And then two, you want to be able to make sure that you can create that stream of income regardless, even if it's an MLM situation, because there's a lot of these MLMs came out of other industries. Like for one particular business, some of these MLM came out and they found another component that their business can do, and they pulled it out, and then they got people on board that helped them make millions of dollars. I have a skincare that we're in our get ready going to our testing stage, and I'm just making sure that everything is okay before we start to. You better not say nothing.
I'm not saying nothing, family. I promise you.
We always joke about my stuff. So, and then I also have a fragrance too, fragrance that I'm working on, because I always wanted I love fragrances. I love to smell good and, whatever. But the thing was, I would have never thought about having a skincare line. And that came out of the derivative of my event planning company. Right. That skincare and that fragrance, that came out of my event planning company. So that was like, oh, it's all tied to Absolutely. What it is that I do. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I was about to say. Because you do big events and you have people that are the star of the show and all of that good stuff, that flows with what you have. Again, my thing is people want, what I want to do is I want to maximize the time that you're already spending on the people that you're spending it with. Right. I don't want to try to teach you Forex. I'm not hating on Forex, but if you want to focus on your business to try to learn Forex and have time to manage it, and when you go trade, if you can align, and that's what I'm really good at, is helping people integrate another stream of income in what they're already doing, and it builds their brand. Yes. The way that it builds their brand is almost from a guerrilla marketing grassroots situation. Because if you look at network marketing, you're building up clientele, you're building up a team, you're building up an audience, so to speak. So when those people go back and they're telling all of these people, I've saved money on my bills, I use this product, I use that product. When they say, where did you get it from? I got it from the dude that sold me life insurance. Guess what? Not only do they want to save on their bills, now they're talking to you about life insurance, and that's so much more viral than just doing it the regular way. So if you really work it the right way, and that's what my team does, big shout out to Justice League, when you really do it the right way, it's a situation of building your brand at the same time and leveraging the team and the network marketing system, or your affiliate marketing system, or your joint venture system, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things. That's just kind of what I do.
Well, and going back to network marketing, someone came to me this week and they literally asked me, they said, are you going to have other people selling your cosmetics? And I was like, I did not think of that. You know, I said like Avon and Mary Kay, you know, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, I didn't think of that. I was thinking of a whole nother different level, which I'm not going to go into here, but where I want my products to be launched in, where I want them to go, the direction that I want them to go. But that, you know, that face-to-face, you know, it's easier for me if I walk into Sephora right now. I mean, because I know what I'm going to get. But let's say that I was looking for a new product, knew something different, you know, like all of a sudden now I'm starting to get wrinkles and I want my face to maintain looking like it's 30 years old, you know, and so I want to get some anti-aging cream or whatever. It's easier to, when you're in a particular industry like that, for someone to say, listen, I use, especially a woman that is in my age group that says, and her face look as good as mine. And she says, you know what? I've been using this for the last year or 6 months or 3 months, whatever, and it has brought these results to me. It has made my wrinkles disappear. I have fillers, you know, everything has filled in, and it's organic, and I haven't had any side effects. I went 3 weeks without using it, and my face still was on fleek, you know. That's going to make me want to purchase something. I'm like, yeah, your face looking still on fleek. It doesn't look like it's going to crack after you don't use it for 3 weeks. That's something that, yeah, I would be able to do network marketing through something like that, because that's more like a personable, face-to-face, integrated, you know, it's very, like you used the word, it's intimate. You're building a relationship with that person, with that product. So I get it. I do understand it. Now, the thing is, like, we've been on here almost an hour. We don't want to bore you guys, you know, with more info, because we have a plethora of information, and we can go on and on and on, because we love talking about businesses. It's our passion to build businesses and to help people. And I want to, before I even close this down, because Adrienne been quiet this whole time and she's been listening attentively, I want to talk to Adrienne. Adrienne, do you have any last words of wisdom for our audience?
No, I don't.
You don't have anything else? Really? You have nothing else?
No, just do what they said. Be great. That executive summary is not just for startups, but it is for people who are in business. Like, if you're just like, honestly, I've never done an executive summary before, be honest. I'm like, I've never done it. I've never had a business plan for my business. It's okay. It's no judgment here. Even if you don't have a business plan, it's okay. But you, especially in this economy, you need a business plan, because you are leaving money on the table. So it's all about get the money, honey. So if you're getting the money, you got to know what's in your arsenal so that you'll know what money to go after.
That's true. Okay, so that is true. And then you want to be able to pay your taxes, okay? And if you form a nonprofit, people, you will not have to pay taxes. It will cause you to be tax exempt. This book does not talk about nonprofit, but I'm going to be doing a second edition on this particular book. However, if you have young adults who are starting businesses, who want to start a business, and even you yourself, tax tips, all of that, credit, personal credit. I do not have business credit, but if you stayed here, inbox me. You're still on here at the end of this session. Inbox me your email address, and I will send you. Oh, first of all, you need to first become part of the millionaire, okay, to our Kingmakers Millionaire Resource Group. Be a part of that, and then I'll give you my ebook that is for free, and and I'm only going to be doing this a couple of more times with that, because it's going to be going into the second edition of, you know, basic technology and easy credit building tip. Is going to be going right into this book, and then you're going to have to pay for the book, and I won't be giving it out for free. Okay, so register with our Kingmaker, with the Kingmaker Millionaire Resource Group. I truly thank everyone for being a part of this webinar. And
you gonna let me say my last words?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I thought you said you had said your last words, but
right.
Okay.
I mean, I hadn't said my goodbyes. Like,
I
thought we was going. But I want to say my goodbyes. I
Say
want people to realize of what they're getting right here. Right. I want you to think about it. A lot of times the biggest problems and the biggest struggles, we just talked about them right here. One of the biggest issues is, are you pricing your products or services correctly, right? Mm-hmm. If you're pricing them correctly, Adrienne just talked about that, right? As we talk about getting business credit so you can do more things, you're giving them that. And then when you talk about expanding your repertoire of your products or services through multiple streams of income that can pay you and make you that much more money. I want people to understand, because people hear things, but they don't really sometimes put it all together. And so when you take all of that together, if you just took this one episode and really listened and contacted any one of us to help you do those three things to your business would be on a much better level. My name is Nolen Davis. You can go to nolendavis.com. That's NOLENDAVIS, and you can contact me there.
Okay, Adrienne, you didn't give your signage.
TheRealAB.com. TheRealAB.com.
And I can be reached at ChristinaLTurner.com, okay? And you have my pages. You have the Christina L. Turner Kingmaker page. You also have access to the Kingmaker Millionaire Resource page. Oh, and just to let you know, a lot of these videos are going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to see them over and over again, not just on the pages that we have. So they're working on that right now. I have a team that's working on that. Thank you, God, because I had to find the right team, and that's important. We'll talk about that on the next episode of Get the Money, Honey. Thank you for attendance. God bless.